Okay, once again, this is to officially welcome you to the continuation of our introduction to computer class. Okay, introduction to computer class. Ojo Janet, please stop what you're doing. Okay, so want to welcome you to our computer hardware topic, which is the topic we're going to be looking at today. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I understand insurance department are joining us also. It is important to know that we have a YouTube page. After each class, we drop the recordings on that YouTube page. So you need to subscribe to the YouTube page and then click notify so that anytime we drop those notifications, you will be able to get. Additionally, you can also follow up with the previous classes that we have by going back to the YouTube page, and you'll be able to access all the course content. I have dropped assignments for you. The assignments are also there. So maybe by the end of today's class, if you have any questions relating to the assignment, you can reach out to me. Additionally, after today's class, I'm going to be giving you guys a class activity, a class assignment that you'll be able to do within the week. Okay, and it has to do with computer hardware. So let us be on tune. And finally, you'll be able to sign in your attendance. So ensure that you sign in your attendance before you leave. So this presentation will explore the fundamentals of components of a computer system, especially covering the aspect of input devices, processing devices, storage devices, even peripheral devices. Computer is made up of hardware and software. And from what we have looked at in our what do you call it, in our course outline, computer hardware basically is what we are going to be looking at. And then in the next chapter, we'll also be looking at computer software, right? We'll be looking at computer software later. Now, we saw that in the definition of computer where we discussed the computer, we said it's an electronic device that is capable of receiving data as input and then processing it according to a set of required instructions stored in its database to produce an output. Now, this definition, as we saw, requires that there are hardware components which you can see, feel, and touch that are related to this. For instance, when we talk about input devices, those are the devices that helps the computer to be able to take in data. An example of these input devices that are hardware include like your keyboard. Okay, your keyboard is essential for text input with keys for letters, numbers, and special characters. You have your mice or your mouse. Sometimes you use it as a precursor to control navigation and enable interaction with graphical elements. Okay, sometimes you use it to trigger commands. That is your mouse. Okay. Now, let me use this. This is the example of your mouse. This is example of your mouse. This is an example of your keyboard, all right, that we are looking at. Please, I would advise you to avoid touching the screen so that I don't have to disable you from doing that. So please, okay? So this is the mouse, this is the keyboard. We have scanners. Scanners also are input devices, and they help you to convert physical documents into digital images, you know, facilitating data entry and retrievals. So sometimes you want to scan a picture, or you want to scan a document, or you want to scan something. That's where the scanner comes in, and it's an input device. You also have a webcam. You know, webcam helps you to capture video images, enabling video conferencing, live streaming, and security, as well as monitoring. Those are input devices, and those input devices are all hardware that we have looked at. Okay. The hardware devices we have looked at. Now we also have output devices. Now, these output devices helps us in displaying information, and a lot of them also are hardware. All right. For instance, when you talk about monitors are primary output devices displaying text or images or videos. Sometimes you call them videos. This is like an example of monitors or visual display units. So visual output devices display information on the screen. Even projector. Projector is also an output device. You have printers. Printers produce like hard copies of documents and enabling paper-based communication and archiving. All right, this is an example of your printer. Okay, so you have, it brings it hard copy. You also have speakers. Speakers generate sound. One of the input devices is microphone, but the output device relating to it is the speaker. So it generates sounds, enhancing multimedia experiences, communication, and entertainment, and things like that. So the output devices help to display this information. So very, very important. So all these are hardware devices, because hardware devices are things you can see, you can feel, and you can touch. We also have hardware devices that are processing in nature. So the processing devices are like the brains of the computer systems. You have things like the CPUs. The CPUs is the central processing unit. Okay, it is responsible for executing instructions and performing calculations. So this is the CPU. See it here, and the CPU is sitting on the motherboard. So that's the CPU. Now the motherboard on the other side it serves as the main circuit board that connects all other components of the computer. All right. So all these other components you can see here are sitting on the motherboard. The CPU is sitting, all these ones are like capacitors. These ones are cards and things like that. They are all sitting on the motherboard. Then you also have what we call the graphic processing unit. Now that is specialized in rendering graphic image and accelerating tasks, especially those of you that are that are into graphic and multimedia editing, video editing, graphic pictures, and using Photoshop or using Apple system in order to enhance good imaging. So you have what they call GPU. That's the graphic processing system. So all these are hardware devices, and they are responsible for processing. Okay. Now, another processing device I forgot to put here is the RAM. The RAM is called random access memory. Okay, the RAM actually is a temporary environment where all processing activities take place. Now, the RAM can be found as a processing device and can also be found as a storage device. Okay, it is processing device because all the processing activities that needs to take place have to be loaded in the RAM, from the operating system to the application softwares and things like that. They will be loaded into the RAM, and then the RAM will carry out processing. At the same time, it stores data, and that is why it's also a storage device. So hard drives are used for for storage of data. So we have what we call the magnetic disk drive, or the magnetic hard drive. It's the most common one that we use, and it stores like large volume of data and things like that. Another one is called the solid state drive, the SSD. Okay, it's like a more advanced way of storing data than the magnetic disk. What is the difference between the two? The magnetic disk works with a disk like this, and then it has what they call tracks and sectors. Okay, it has tracks and sectors. And how it stores data, it uses what we call the read-write head. So the read-write head, whenever you are writing data, the read-write head goes through the disk while it is spinning, and then either reads information that is stored there, or it writes information into that particular disk. So that's how it does the read and write. So the speed of the reading and writing depends on the rotation, the speed of the hard disk as it rotates, and the read-write head. Okay, but sometimes it does have some issues and complications, and that's why you have the solid state drive. The solid state drive is far, far, far faster. It's really, really, really faster than the magnetic disk. It does not sit on a disk that rotates, on a motor that spins. It doesn't sit on that. It's just like a flash drive. It's just like a memory. You just drop and access, direct access. So it's much, much, much faster. Then you also have the USB drive. The USB is called the Universal Serial Bus. They are portable storage devices that enable you just to do your file transfer. You want to move your file from one point to the other, Now, there's another storage device that I forgot to put. It's called the ROM, the read-only memory, okay? The ROM, read-only memory, is another storage device that stores like settings of the system, booting instructions of the system, and things like that. Okay, when we come to talk about computer software, we will look into that particular aspect. Okay. Now, we also have peripheral devices that are hardware. When you say peripheral devices, you're looking at external devices, but they work hand in hand with the computers, okay? We have what we call the modems. The modems actually connect computers to internet networks, facilitating communication and access to internet resources, okay? So a very quick example of modem is maybe when you enter your server room or your computer room, you see something like, should I say, like these MTN routers. They can serve as a router and a modem also, okay? Or another one is where you see your DSTV. There's a dish outside, and then that dish outside is connected to what they call decoder. So that decoder, sometimes they call it modem, all right, depending on what you want to use it for. Another device that is peripheral is the routers. The routers actually direct traffic between computer, enabling communication and data sharing. In other words, the router does two things: path determination and packet forwarding. It is the device that helps you connect to the internet as well as the modem. Okay, so if you have like these SIM routers, they are also part of routers. Then you have hubs. Hubs and switches are alike. They are usually multi-port devices that are used to connect to the network as well. Like the hubs, they are simple devices that connect multiple computers to a network, enabling basic communication. Okay, so you have, they physically look alike, something like this. So it's a device that have multiple ports, and then you expect that you have multiple computers that are going to connect to it, and then it's going to share. The difference between the hub and the switch is the capacity. Okay. Sorry, I've been getting a message. Some people are saying they cannot hear me. So before I continue, if you can hear me, you can either drop a thumbs up or an emoji or something. Let me know that you can hear me, or drop a message. Okay, I see Abubakar. Thank you. Okay, all right. Success, Clovia, Hajara. Oh, so you can all hear me. Thank you very much. Oh, okay, so I'm happy to see that you can all hear me. Thank you very much for the feedback. So let's continue, okay? So the peripheral devices, like we said, are all devices that are external. They are not the devices that are inside the computer per se, but they are devices that aids the computer to be able to function at different ways. Now, what are some of the importance of this hardware selection? Now, selecting the right hardware component is crucial for optimal performance. Okay. Now, you want to build a computer, or you want to assemble a computer, or you want to buy. It could be maybe a computer or a phone or whatever it is. How you select them matters a lot. Now, how do you know your system is good or your system is not good when it comes to hardware? Okay, there are certain areas that you need to pay attention. One is your processor or your processing. You need to check the processing ability of your system. All right, you check the CPU, and I'll show you how to do that. Another thing you need to check is to check the ROM or the RAM, sorry. The RAM is like I said, the environment where processing activities take place. Okay. I'll also show you how to check the RAM. And then another thing is you need to check like the hard disk. What is the size of the hard disk? Is the hard disk SSD or is the hard disk magnetic in nature? And you check also the size, and then I will also show you how to do that. Then you need to also check your operating system. Okay, the operating system that you have, I'll also show you how to do that. So when you are selecting that, it will help you a lot. And you need to consider factors such as the intent of use. You are buying a system or you're buying a phone. What do you want to use it for? Okay, you don't just go to buy, say, I want the best of the best. What do you want to use it for? And all in all, maybe you just want to use it to type a message or so, or you want to be sending, typing your project. That is waste of resources. So you have to look at the intent of use when you are selecting a system. And then you have to research specification or computer prices and reviews that will help you. Okay. Now, in conclusion, the key takeaways that you need to know in summary is that computer hardware consists of interconnected components that enable data input, processing, output storage, and communication. Now, understanding of role of each of these devices is essential for building and maintaining a functional, efficient computer system. So by carefully selecting hardware components, users can optimize performance and ensure system longevity. Okay. Now, with this basic overview that I have given you, I have also sent you a link. Okay. I've also sent you a link on how you can join, you can enroll in the hardware class, Cisco hardware class that I have created. I'll also drop it on for the YouTube link so that others may be able to follow it under the description. Okay. Now, let me show you guys. Let's get there. Now, this is the environment. There's a link that I sent to you. You are supposed to use that link, and under that link, you're going to see AMS 123 Computer Hardware Basics. All right. It's a link on Cisco. It will require you to use your email. There's a link I sent. If you just click the link, it will ask you to enroll or register. Okay. This is Cisco working hand in hand with the Nigeria Computer Society. Right. So at the end of this is the class activity I'm going to give you guys. And this activity is to take in for 6 hours, but I'm going to make it available for 1 week. Okay. So between now and next week, Saturday, everybody should be done with it. How do you do this activity? All right. This is the course outline for the computer hardware. These are the resources that are there for this computer hardware. There are some slides for you on what to do. But basically, if you just click here, you can read and then scroll. If you come here, general safety. What are the general safety? If you click here and then you scroll, there's a video here. You just play in the video. All right.
This fire extinguisher here is rated for items.
So
Is
you
rated
just
for trash, wood, and paper.
to the end, right? It will talk to you about. Okay. Go to the next one, personal computer and safety. You watch the video. This is the video. All right. You just play
Hello,
the video.
everyone. Let's take a look at what's inside of a computer. Now, to start off, computers have changed drastically.
Good. So you just watch the video.
Input device sitting right here.
You watch the video, it will go through
Monitors.
any details
Now these aren't as powerful as this
inside
graphics card here.
computer. You'll see what is inside the computer, how to open the computer, how to close the computer, and then how to assemble it, and so on and so forth. At the end of it, there is like a quiz, practice quiz. You can do the quiz. Then once you are done, you come to the next one, how to disassemble a computer. You are given a computer. How do you disassemble it? This is a video that you will need to just watch. The video is just 3 minutes, and you take your time, and it will explain to you the basic tools that you need.
Hello, everyone. Imagine being a computer with your bare hands.
Okay, so I'm just showing you after it, there's a lab activity.
When you get into a computer and you find out that
after all this, you come and do the one for laptops, then you do for other mobile devices, then you come and do. So in each of these, there is a quiz. There is a quiz in each of it. Then at the end of it, you come and do what we call basic final exam. Under the basic final exam, there is a final exam here, you write, and then there is a course survey. Okay. Now, the final exam is just 30 questions. Look at it, 30 questions, and you will require 70 to be known that you have passed the exam. All right. I've given you some unlimited number so that you can do and always reset and go back until you get it right. Okay. This is like question 1, question 2. If you fail it, you can give it a try again. At the end of this activity, you should be able to get a certificate, all right? A certificate of completion, but ensure that you do the course survey, all right? So you will also have a grade book. And the grade book for module 1, the quiz that you have done for module 1, it will reflect here. The quiz you have done for module 2, it will reflect here. For module 3, it will reflect. Module 4, and the final exam, sorry, it will reflect, and then the average. It is when you've done everything well, then I will enable you to be able to print in your certificates. Okay. So, so far I can see 6 people have already enrolled, and I would encourage you to do so to get yourself enrolled and do. Make sure you use a functional email. The one that you have used for your ISOC assignment, that email address you have used for ISOC assignment, you can also use that email. Now, the next thing I want to show you is, let me share my screen, right? Is how to check information on your system. So if I just type system information here, there are various ways. Now, if I say system information here, this is what it's going to show me, right? You see, it says hardware resources here. These are hardware resources. Operating system name, you see, I'm using Windows 11 Pro, all right? It will give me the version. Then it will give me the system name, the manufacturer, I'm using Dell, the model of the system, the type, 64-bit, the processor. You see, my system is using processor Core i7. It has 4 logical CPUs and 2 physical cores, all right? And then you see, it gives you all this processing information. How about the RAM? Okay, it says install physical memory. You see, it's having 16 gig installed on my RAM. Okay, so you see, it gives you in summary all the information that you have or you need on the hardware. Okay, that is one way. Another way is just if you can just come to let me see the short way. System okay. You go to Windows R, and there it brings this command prompt, this place, just clean it, just type DXDIAG. If I press that, that's another way. It's going to now show you show us some information about the system. So let's wait. It's still loading. Still loading. Okay, see it here. Very good. So you see, it's telling me this is the computer name. This is the operating system of the system. Can you see? And it will tell me the model of the system. It will tell me the processor that I have on the system. It will tell me the memory. Can you see the memory here? Okay, it will give me all this information. I want to see more information. I go to the next page. It will give me the display information about my graphics. This is like my graphics, Intel RHD, high definition graphics 620. All right, manufactured by Intel. And then it gives me the memory for the graphics and things like that. I want more information about my sound. This is it. I want information about my input devices. This is it. Okay. Another way is just to go to your, probably your documents. So if I come to my PC here, where it comes to my PC, under my PC, you see my system has, this is the like the local disk. Okay, this is the local disk. This is another external disk I added to my PC. So if I come to my local disk, I can just right click here and go to properties. Okay, so if you go to properties, this is where it's going to show you. So it's going to show you the capacity of your disk and the type of your disk and things like that. You can always do cleanup and so on like that. So this is the, my system is using SSD. Okay, and this is it's about 256 in capacity for the SSD. Then there is another storage here, another storage that I've also put another 256. So this is like in summary, just a few things you need to know about computer hardware, right? I would expect that you do the activities. Let me also drop the link again for the enrollment. For those of you who probably did not get that link for that enrollment, let me drop it again. Just a minute. Okay. So I've just dropped it on the WhatsApp platform, and I'm going to drop it on the chat forum here. All you just need to do is click it. I've just dropped it here. All you need to do is click it and then follow the instructions. Okay. So this is where we'll drop the curtain for today's class. If you have a question, you can raise your electronic hand, and then you would be able to unmute yourself. Okay. You have a question. Okay, you raise your electronic hand, then you can unmute yourself. All right, so I see, thank God, Marcos, your hand is up. You can mute yourself and ask your question. Thank God.
Okay, sir. Are you getting me?
Yes, go ahead.
My question is when you're explaining those things, you show there's a display of pictures there, and I wanted to know how it looks like.
Sorry, when you are displaying what?
Exactly among those pictures, which one is the
I don't know whether it's my network that is breaking or your network. I don't know. You said when you are displaying something, this thing went off.
Okay, are you getting me now?
Yes, go ahead.
I said the time that you're displaying hardwares,
Yeah,
there's a picture you are showing us. There are some pictures you are showing us there in the background,
yeah.
pictures of hardwares. So you are explaining something about hard disks and other things. So there are a lot of pictures there. I could not identify which one is the hard disk, and I want the system. So can you
Okay.
please go back and show me which one among those ones is the disk?
Okay, so let me,
You understand?
yes, just a minute. Let me just show you. Just a minute. Right, let me just share. All right. Now, what you can see here are all computer hard disk. Okay. This is like the image of a computer hard disk, the one that is not SSD. This is magnetic disk. This is how the read-write head looks. Can you see the read-write head? This is the disk. Okay, this is the disk here. This is the read-write head. And this disk is sitting on a spindle or a motor. And then this spins, and it spins very fast while this read-write head read the information or write the information as you may desire it to do. Okay. Now, let me show you for solid state drive. Okay. Okay, let me show you. This is an example of SSD storage. Okay, where is it? This is, you see, it looks like this. In this case, you see, it does not have like that disk. It does not have what do you call it now? Like a motor that spins round. So some looks like this, and some SSDs, they look like this, like a memory card. Can you see? Some of them look like this. So they are different from the magnetic disk that spins around. Okay, so look at the difference between the two. You have this as an SSD, and then this one here as a magnetic disk. So you see the comparison between the two. All right. So I don't know if that has answered your question. Has it answered your question? All right, so I guess that's answered. The next person is a Jukurum Favor. All right, so I'm going to be opening the attendance now. Please, it's good to note that once you sign the attendance, do not exit. If you exit before the class, before I close the attendance, it will take you out of the attendance. So make sure that you're still in class, right? So
Okay, sir.
yes, go ahead with your question. Favor, go ahead.
Yes.
Favor, you want to ask a question? He doesn't want to ask a question. All right. So